So you're thinking about moving to Huntington Beach, California, but you have no idea what the different neighborhoods are like. Maybe you don't know anything about Huntington Beach. Maybe you just got a job and you've just decided that you want to move here, but you don't have any idea about the city. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to get out the map and we're going to show you lots of different neighborhoods, lots of different points of interest. We're going to give you an overall overview of Huntington Beach. We're going to show you things that you're really going to like about Huntington Beach, and we're going to show you things that you're really going to hate, which is probably most important. Because the worst thing that could happen is you come out here to Huntington Beach and you move to the wrong spot. So let's get started. So here we are in Orange County, California, and do you want to click on Huntington Beach?
This is Orange County for those that don't know.
Yes, this is Orange County.
And then if we want to pan back, you can see we are in proximity to the rest of Southern California. So we're not just outside of LA.
Yes.
And then as we go zoom in, we're zooming into Huntington Beach, Surf City, USA.
Yes, Surf City, USA. I did used to work at the company that owned Surfer magazine, and I was told by many surfers that Huntington Beach has a great surf break, and that is why it's called Surf City, USA. And it does have the US Open of surfing there. I would not know because I don't know anything about surfing other than what I've been told by everyone I used to work with.
Good to know. And actually, and what we'll say about Huntington Beach, though, as far as like its attributes, I guess we could start with its natural attributes and we can get into more some of the neighborhoods and stuff, is that as far as beaches go, pretty amazing beaches. These are actually super wide. They're state beaches, right? And so if you'll see even from here, you can see the beach. It is extremely wide. I think it's hard to appreciate how big these beaches actually are.
Yeah, it's funny because I was actually talking to my hairdresser the other day, and she was saying how she went to Hawaii. They went to Hawaii for vacation, and they were like, "Yeah, it's fun," but I mean, it was fine. Like she wasn't like totally enthralled by it, and I was like, "Yeah, because you're from California. Like the beaches in California, at least Southern California, are really really nice." And so she was like, "Yeah, you're right." Like, and that's why I said, that's why I never spend my money to go to Hawaii. I would just go someplace totally different.
So before we continue, I'm Sean Dazad.
And I'm Courtney Dazad, and we are licensed real estate agents here in the state of California.
And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the glitz. I love the glamour. I love the incredible weather. I can't wait to move out there now. But the problem is I'm not local. I may be out of state. I may be even out of the country, so I don't know what to do. And I totally get that. That's why I want to reach out to us so we can be your boots on the ground, find out specifically what you're looking for, and actually, like tour those homes for you as far as giving you virtual tours, really give you a sense of the home and the neighborhood. And also we can make sure that, I work with a team, so even if I'm not available at that specific moment, we have someone else that is available too, so that way someone's always available for you. So what you want to do, you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.
And we'll just let you know that the ocean is colder than you would expect. Like it's not, if you're thinking that you're going to be going into the Caribbean with basically bath water, that's not what you get here.
No.
In fact, actually, it's a good thing because the water's certainly in the summer warm enough, but it's going to be surprising to you that it's colder than you thought it would be. But what comes with that is that's because of the Alaska current, and the Alaska current is obviously this current that brings the water down and it keeps it cooler. And what's nice is that it keeps the weather. It's the reason why the weather in Southern California is the best in the world.
Yeah, that is for sure.
And when we talk about the best in the world, when you get onto the coast, that's when it's the best of the best. Like I will put this weather up against any place in the world. You can have your Nice in France, your Cannes in France, you can have your Greek islands.
Yeah.
I will take this any day of the week.
It actually is better. That is correct. It is the best weather in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting because this is at the beach. Like it can get hot outside of the beach. I mean, but we're speaking hot in quotation marks. Like it's hot to us, but it's actually not that hot. Like my sister lives in Texas.
That's hot.
That is hot.
That's Texas heat.
It is not hot compared to that. But the beach, it really never gets that hot, and it really never gets that cold. Like if it's really hot at the beach, then you are just baking inland. Like you are baking if you're in Irvine, say. So
now we will say that though, like actually, like people come to California packing extremely light, right?
Yeah.
Like they're going, and so actually your mom used to work at Nordstrom's way back when she was like a wee lass.
Yeah.
And basically she would say the number one item that people would buy is a light jacket because again, people just packed nothing, and it still just does get chilly at night a little bit.
Well, because
chilly is like a relative term here.
Well, because she worked in a touristy area, so then like the tourists would come in and they didn't even bring a jacket, and they'd be like, "It's cold." Like you do need a light jacket, you do.
And then other things that are like I would say denote like Huntington Beach is like natural landscape. You have these like wetlands, you know, kind of thing. So the Bolsa Chica wetlands, and this is kind of where for migrating birds and stuff like that. This is not a harbor here, right? This is like land that's reserved for nature, and you'll kind of see some of the natural Southern California landscape here. It's kind of basically a lagoon, I guess the way you could put it. And again, this is for migrating birds making their way out between Canada and Mexico, I guess.
Yeah, and there's lots of trails there too. Like people like to partake of the trails all the time. You go there and there's definitely a lot of outdoor recreation.
Oh yeah, and we have people like looking in Huntington Beach and they want to have like trails to like ride their bikes and stuff like that. And also again along Pacific Coast Highway, which is right here. Again, this is a nice straight shot. So it's not hilly. So it's just a really nice bike ride.
So there's a large boardwalk too. So not only do you have Pacific Coast Highway, which you see a lot of cyclists on, but you also have a really long boardwalk in Huntington Beach, which is very popular, like for anything really, like, you know, walking, running, cycling, rollerblading, walking your dog. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, and then so there's two more major attributes, and then we'll get into the more nitty gritty, right? So another major attribute is Huntington Harbor. So we'll kind of zoom in. So this is one of really three. If you're into the boating lifestyle, right? There's basically 3 cities in all of Orange County that you can really dock or moor your boat. And basically you have the farthest south is Dana Point, which is a lovely city.
Yes.
And then you have Newport Beach. So Newport Harbor is actually pretty massive. It's basically one of the largest non-commercial harbors in the country. So I mean, it's just a huge harbor here. And then you have, on a smaller scale, you have Huntington Harbor, which is again a fantastic harbor. And again, you see people with large boats that are like, you know, have their own boats docked here. So if you're looking for that kind of lifestyle, you can see some of the boats docked here. So you have that ability here as well. Now I will say that not all of Huntington Harbor is created equal, because these are actually landlocked. These are like little, I guess what they call lagoons, basically ponds, right? So you don't have any straight shot from here to get into the open ocean. So you would actually take this, otherwise you would take, you know, if you have your boat docked, you would go through this canal and then go out to the open ocean. So, and then obviously the last one I will bring up is like the Huntington Pier area, because that's kind of where downtown Huntington Beach is. And again, so you have this culmination of huge wide beaches, lots of stuff, restaurants, dining, bars, all that stuff, like entertainment options here. And then you have the pier, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Before we get started into the neighborhoods, just one aspect of Huntington Beach that makes it very popular is how far north it is in Orange County. So here's Long Beach right here. So you have Seal Beach that's right here. That's a very small city between Long Beach, which is LA County, and Huntington Beach. So
and Seal Beach is the most northern coastal city in Orange County.
Yeah, so why some people like Huntington Beach is because it provides easier access into Los Angeles County. So we've actually done videos before about where are some cities that are popular if you do have to commute into Los Angeles, and Huntington Beach is one of those, because not only do you have the Pacific Coast Highway, which is the one right here, but you also can easily get into, easily meaning dealing with traffic, of course, but you can get into Los Angeles on the 405 as well. So that's just something to know. So if you are, you know, looking around Orange County because you're like, I need to go into LA sometimes or maybe every day, but I don't want to live in LA, which is a lot of people.
Yeah, you want to be in the orange bubble.
Yeah.
So you want to live in the orange bubble, but you may need to work in LA.
Yeah, so Huntington is an option for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So you actually skip a decent amount of traffic, because traffic tends to start backing up right about here, give or take. So kind of where you start to feel it
really bad. Yeah.
And then so basically, and it goes all the way up, but basically you can kind of cut a decent amount of this. And like, let's say if you want to be in the coast, and let's say you thought of Newport, even though it's the next city down, it's a pretty big difference as far as proximity to Los Angeles.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Huntington Beach, like you said, has like Pacific Coast Highway as well as the 405 freeway as really major arteries to get you north or south, for that matter.
Yeah. So we're just going to split Huntington Beach up into
4 sections.
Into 4 sections. It's the way that the MLS splits it up. And do you want to explain what the MLS is? It's kind of like realtor lingo.
Yeah, it's a multiple listing service. So this is where agents, put their properties that are for sale up. So other agents, and obviously it syndicates out to other consumers, like through Zillow and all this other stuff. so they can kind of see what's going on. So basically, as far as like the general areas, you have West Huntington Beach, kind of this area, and then you have South Huntington, right? So that's this area. And then you have Fountain Valley, Huntington Beach area, so that's kind of here. And then you have Northwest. So you have, like, I mean, again, very exact. You can't get any more precise than this. This kind of just gives you the different areas of Huntington Beach in general.
Yeah, so do you want to start with South Huntington Beach,
Let's go start south and work our way north/west.
Let's do it.
All right. So as we zoom in, so to South Huntington Beach, what's kind of like, you know, a lot of, you know, a lot of people love this area because, again, you're close to the beach, you're obviously, and then also you're close to Newport Beach too. So if you're needing to go south, it's pretty convenient from that perspective. So basically, as far as we're working with South Huntington Beach, think of stuff basically about more or less Beach Boulevard, between Beach Boulevard and Santa Ana River, I'd say, as far as.
Show where that is.
Yeah, so Beach Boulevard is right here, Pacific Coast Highway, Santa Ana River, something like that, right? So.
Yeah, well, these are very inexact terms. Like, nobody really calls it South Huntington Beach. It's more just like to give you an idea of what it's like.
Yeah, and then so basically, you obviously you're bordering on this side, like Costa Mesa and Newport Beach to the south.
Yeah.
And then obviously, depending on where you are, you can actually be a decent ways away from the 405. Like, again, it's kind of funny where you can be pretty far off of. You're a good 6 miles between, like, let's say the 405 and the beach.
Yes, that is actually one thing that I do not like about Huntington Beach is, like, let's say you live, like, right here or something. I swear sometimes it takes, like, 30 minutes to get there.
I wouldn't say I'm
exaggerating, but it is, well, if it's, I don't know. I feel like I've gone here before, and I'm like, why did I drive here? Like, it's so far.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on where you are in
and I guess if you're doing it on a weekend, because, you know, we have friends that live in Huntington Beach, and then we go down there, and I'm like, why did I come here? Like, it's too far away. But, of course, I don't like to drive, so.
Yes, I think that's one of your issue. And also, obviously, there's, like, interesting shortcuts you can do to kind of avoid a lot of this stuff, because you can actually, especially if you're coming from the south, you're actually going 405, and you're kind of taking some surface streets to kind of pop you in. You're kind of cutting off a decent amount of distance here.
So you claim. And then, do you want to explain what the Santa Ana River is? Because I guess if nobody knows what it is,
well, think of the Mississippi River, and that's Santa Ana River right there. It barges. It's a huge shipping port. Amazing.
Yeah. It's more like a drainage ditch. Like, we say the Santa Ana River, and I don't, like, if you've never been to Orange County, it's just like a drainage ditch, and then it drains out into the ocean. Yeah.
I mean, just look at that. And this is when it's full. Like, like if it's actually been a minute where it's like, this will dry up almost completely.
For sure. Like so that's actually kind of shocking.
Yeah, this is actually,
rain.
This makes it look pretty impressive. And this is nothing like it. And again, this is ushering water out so it doesn't flood Orange County itself. So there's shooting water out.
Yeah.
And some surfers, if they're bold enough, they will actually they will surf on this other side of it, which is kind of insane.
And then they have to go to the hospital because they have an infection in a cut that they didn't realize they had. Yeah,
well, it's not the best idea. So you get this crazy phenomenon where you'll actually see, like, this water rushing in.
This is after a rain. Like, normally it's not really that bad at all. We're talking about after it rains and then the surfers
come. During rain,
yeah, and then the surfers come because they don't care and they're like, I'm going to risk it. I don't care. I'm going to have to go to the hospital.
Well, because you get this like, kind of almost these really interesting waves right here. There's water's coming in and the surf's coming in. So they're kind of pushing against each other.
Yeah.
Don't recommend it like at all because, again, it's shooting water out and, you know, like it hasn't been like filtered out or anything. So this is water just being pushed out so it doesn't flood Orange County. So not recommended.
Although, because I do know a decent amount of surfers, just because where I worked, I do know a decent amount of people that have done that.
True. Okay, so that's the Santa Ana River for you, and it definitely separates Costa Mesa and Newport from Huntington Beach itself.
And then since we were talking about the Santa Ana River, Edison High School is close to it, and one thing that people like about Huntington Beach, it has a couple of different school districts, but definitely there are a lot of highly ranked schools within Huntington Beach. I mean, not every school is like an A or an A+, but there's definitely a lot, and Edison High School, just because we're right here, is one of them. So it's ranked A on niche.com.
Yeah, and actually, it surprised me. I remember showing, this is several years ago, I was showing clients in in Huntington Beach, and I was like, again, this is, I think, again, I was just like kind of looking at the school search, and I was going, wow, this ranks actually pretty well. Because you think of coastal cities, you think of, I don't know, you just don't necessarily think that education is a super high priority where you have like really highly rated schools. And Huntington Beach actually has a decent amount of them.
Yeah, it does. It has a lot of like 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s. Of course, you have to do your research to make sure you're zoned for the right one. But yeah, it's got a good amount of them.
Yeah, and also another part, like, so this is Brookhurst and Adams, sorry. So on Brookhurst and Adams, you have like pretty big, like, so if you're looking for like stuff that's in close proximity, like you have Whole Foods, you have Sprouts, you have Target. So it's kind of cool to have all this right in one little pocket. And this, I believe, is about 3 miles from the coast itself. So you're pretty close, again, to the ocean, but at the same time, this is nice because you're pretty close also to the freeway, so it's got a nice way to split the difference. And then as far as the home, so what you have here is you have a combination of condos, single-family residences, and townhomes, and there's not a ton of new construction in Huntington Beach. There are some pockets that have had new construction, so if you're looking for new construction, let us know and we can see what we can find for you in Huntington Beach, but there's not a lot of it, so I just want to kind of forewarn you on that. A lot of the homes here are built in, let's say, the 60s, and 70s, and some in the 50s even, so that's kind of what you're kind of getting is definitely on the older side for homes. Now, over time, people have certainly redone their homes, like where like these neighborhoods are very settled, and so they've done additions or they've done certainly some major renovations over time. And again, these are really cool little suburbs that are like within this area. So as we move a little farther north, we're getting like to this Beach Boulevard, and for those that don't know, so basically, Beach Boulevard here, this is like let's say like Highway 39 or whatever. I mean, it's not highways and it's not a freeway, right? So you have stoplights and everything like that. However, this is a pretty fast, straight shot to get you from the 405 freeway to the beach. And this is like really wide, probably about 8 or so lanes across. So this is a pretty major road. Lots of car dealerships, there's hospitals along here. There's like a lot of shopping right along here. So a lot of, again, this is kind of like where a lot of stuff is happening within Huntington Beach itself. And then as we're kind of going just north of it, we're kind of going to downtown Huntington Beach. We really like this little area. This little pocket here is super cool.
It's where the pier is. You want to show the pier?
Let's give the people what they want.
So Main Street and the pier, definitely like very touristy area, but I mean it's really nice. Like we like to go there. So yeah, there's a pier right there. There's
a pier. So you have like volleyball courts here. You have a lot of activities. Actually, there's like when you have volleyball tournaments, or like there's actually a lot of tournaments that take place here where they build these stadiums right here, right next to the pier, and there's a lot of just like activities taking place. There's actually the Red Bull, like there's air shows and everything. So there's just a lot of stuff happening right in this pocket. It's out, and really an extension. The pier is an extension of Main Street. So it's a really cool spot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the U.S. Open of surfing is there as well.
Yes, it is.
I've never gone because I never want to deal with the crowds, but I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then as far as like Main Street goes, like it's kind of cool because it actually used to be where you did like where you drove through, and if you'll notice, like right farther down here, they kind of started, they blocked it off, like from COVID and stuff, where you again couldn't have too many people dining in, so they kind of pulled it out, which is pretty cool. It kind of creates that European cafe kind of feel where you're just kind of taking it in, and again, because the weather's so nice, you don't mind sitting out and enjoying your favorite foods and treats.
And Baskin Robbins right there.
And Baskin Robbins right there, like ready to like warm. Although I will say, down the street here, so this is as we're getting closer to the pier, there's a fantastic ice cream shop right to the left, right south.
Which one is that?
Right here. Let me see here. I will show you. It is.
Oh, Handel's?
Yes. As far as ice cream goes.
Really? Everyone likes Handel's. I think Baskin Robbins is better.
What?
Yeah.
You're a hater. Okay, and then also obviously you have like surf shops, like so Huntington Surf and Sport, as well as you have Jack's. So this is like if you came here and you want to dress like a local, I guess. I don't know.
Except locals don't dress like that.
Yeah, exactly, not anymore.
If you want to dress like somebody in Illinois who wants to dress like a local, then you can go there.
Or yeah, if you're a tourist that wants to dress like a local, this is they're ready to help you.
Yeah.
They're ready to take your money. So so this is, and Duke's is a really good restaurant right on the beach. And actually this is a good segue to this part of it, because in Huntington Beach itself, you actually have very little development on the coastal side of the Pacific Coast Highway. So there's like literally, I think one, maybe two developments. There's like a condo development right here, and then this is like this condo complex. So the Huntington Pacific Beach condo complex, this is only like, I think the only one that's developed on this side.
Meaning beachfront. I don't know if you're explaining it.
Yeah,
like,
on the coastal side.
Meaning beachfront. So yeah, I guess I don't know if people are confused what you mean by coastal, because this is a coastal city. So there's like
the ocean side, the beach side of it.
So beachfront, there's very little development on the beach. Like, this is what's different about Huntington versus Newport. See, all the development is right here. And so if you do, the closest that you get is like right on the Pacific Coast Highway. So that's what's different about that versus Newport Beach.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And Seal Beach also has beachfront as well, but Huntington does not. Yeah, very little. It has some, but Seal Beach is so small that.
Yeah, exactly. So if you
there are like 10 houses in that city.
And then as you Seal Beach, well, I mean, go in, but yeah, there's not a lot that's on the ocean itself.
Yeah.
And if you want water frontage, we'll lead to that later, where you're going to Huntington Harbor. And another thing that we will say about these homes in over here is that the lot sizes are small. So this is characterized by, again, you have homes that are older, and actually some homes that are like brand new developments too, but they're narrow and vertical.
Yes,
so they're actually
very vertical.
Yeah, they can be pretty large as far as like, square footage wise, like maybe 4,000 square feet or so.
Yeah. But
you're going like 3 stories. So just be aware that your backyard is the beach.
Yes.
As you famously say.
Yes.
Like, so basically, I don't know how famous it is, but
it's
like,
not famous.
it's famous amongst us,
it's
amongst the two of us.
Me and maybe like one of my friends that watches these videos just to be nice.
So that's what we have, is that you have smaller lots. So if you want a big lot, you want to kind of steer clear of this area here.
Yes.
And actually, this is actually really close to Huntington High School, actually, too.
Yes. So Huntington High School.
Huntington Beach High School, yeah.
Yeah. Here. So yeah, Sean just clicked on Huntington Beach High School, and then that is another highly ranked school in one of the districts. I think there's 3 separate school districts in there. And we actually know an English teacher there that we used to run with at UC Irvine. Side note.
Good to know.
Good to know.
The more you know.
The more you know. Ding, 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 ding.
And then as we move just slightly north of this, we're in Seacliff. This is, I love this community here. Good sized lots. They have golf course and all that stuff too. So if you're looking to get your golf on and be still close to the beach, Seacliff is a nice option as well.
Yeah.
And then as we go a little bit further north, now we're kind of going into the Bolsa Chica wetlands. You have like homes that are kind of surrounding this. So you don't have any development going on here, right? So your development's going to be right over here.
Yes, that is protected in perpetuity. It was a long fight, but it was
the
maybe
environmentalist won.
Yes, it was about 10 years ago, I think, that they finally.
Oh, is that what it was? That recent? I didn't even know.
Yeah,
recent.
It wasn't that recent that they finally were like, we're done. We're not developing here. So yeah, it's a very important area for birds, and also for making sure that the water is clean before it goes into the ocean. So yeah.
Yes, because it's natural filtration that they take. And also, actually, we should bring up Huntington Central Park, right?
Oh yeah, Central Park. It's very nice. So, I mean, if you're not from Orange County, you probably don't know what the Irvine Great Park is, and it's kind of a joke. Like, it's a joke among locals.
Huntington Central Park is better.
Let's be real. Huntington Central Park is way better. It's just like, it's got a lot of fields, a lot of sports are done there, youth sports. It's just like a nice little park. It has
equestrian stuff.
Yeah, it has a nice library there.
Yeah, my mom always goes to this library to pick up books for our kids so they can read. I guess they want to read or something. So
well, I force them to read. I bribe them with Pokemon cards and candy. Although our daughter actually does like to read. It's more our
son is he's not as eager to please.
No, he's not.
He's a younger one.
He doesn't care what we think.
He just does what you do.
Yeah, he does.
So so this is a pretty large park here, and it's surrounded by a lot of homes and all that stuff. But yeah, again, it's a great feature to have.
Yeah, and we actually have done like pictures in there before, like professional photography. It's nice.
So Huntington Beach Central Park, awesome. I love it. And then as we go a little bit further north of the wetlands, then we have Huntington Harbor. I really like this area. It's pretty cool because, again, it's like the only area in Huntington Beach, pretty much, where you can get some water frontage here.
Yeah.
And so you have lots of homes. Again,
you have little beaches too. Like every little island kind of has their own little beach that people like to go to. Yeah.
And actually, I was about to say, and I made that mistake because I was, fresh on our mind. We did a driving tour of Huntington Harbor actually was that the streets on these islands and along the harbor are actually surprisingly wide.
Yes, they are.
And also the lot sizes are surprisingly large. Like,
they are.
For being what this is. When you think of like being on an island where land is certainly at a premium, you think of, okay, they squish them all together. And I think this was developed long enough ago.
Yeah.
Because these aren't new homes. And now, of course, you will see some like newly renovated homes, maybe some brand new construction as well. There's people doing stuff all the time like to these homes here because they're rather valuable, certainly.
Yeah.
And so basically you'll see houses of varying degrees of condition. But because of how long ago they built it, again, let's say figure 1960s, 70s kind of thing, that these homes, they really spread them out a bit for what they are.
Yeah, they do. It's really actually surprising to me. It's a really nice little pocket, like Sean said, where you have space and you're right near the water, which is very, very unusual. Like how we were saying in downtown Huntington Beach, like everything is swished together. It's very vertical. That's not how it is here at all. So
yeah, and again, over here, you have a lot of condos, townhomes, and single-family residences.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're on the water, if you have a dock, and it accommodates a large boat, that obviously is going to be a bit more expensive than a condo.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this part of Huntington Beach definitely much more pricey than the average Huntington Beach home. So Huntington Beach itself, so its median home price is actually like rather, quote, low, and I'm using low in quotation marks, but for a beach city, it's actually rather low. It's not usually like considerably more than the median home price for Orange County.
Yeah, it's actually, and surprisingly, in a lot of ways, it's cheaper than Irvine.
Yeah.
And what again, when you think of a coastal city, you think of, again, because of the coast, like land is so finite there.
Well, and it's the weather. People are paying for the weather. Like they want the
beach lifestyle too.
Well, and also a lot of it is the weather because, I mean, let's be honest. Like if you're living at how often are you actually going to the beach on your day to day? I mean, people have their day to day lives. Like you go to work, like all of this stuff.
But people do go to Huntington Beach for that active lifestyle.
True.
So I think that they are taking. I mean, you may not be going directly in the ocean, but if you're going on a run, this is it's hard. You'd be hard pressed to find better scenery while running than running along, let's say, the boardwalk here or whatever in Huntington Beach.
Well, as a runner, I would say it's more about the weather because the weather is so consistent along the coast. Like it's never too hot and it's never too cold.
It does make running a lot easier to have that weather, for sure.
For sure.
And then basically we're going to kind of talk about more like the north-ish part of Huntington Beach where it kind of blends into Westminster. It kind of starts to border Westminster and Fountain Valley here.
Yeah.
And again, these are homes varying sizes. You have condominiums as well, and basically in townhomes, of course. And yeah, I mean, these are just these are homes that people like because they're super close to the 405 freeway, so it's just very convenient proximity, and the prices tend to be a bit more reasonable here too.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like Sean was saying, so Huntington Beach, it's not like the newest city, right? Like there's a lot of homes that were built in like the 50s and 60s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
and even 70s too.
Even 70s. So what's interesting is that when you get to like this part of Huntington Beach, sometimes it's hard to say, like, are you in Fountain Valley? Are you in Westminster? Are you in Huntington Beach? And you kind of have to look at your car to like figure out where you are because a lot of it looks like really the same. It just looks like old suburbia. It kind of has a similar feel to like some of the suburbia you see in Los Angeles. That's like kind of like South Los Angeles. Yeah, like that right there. It kind of all looks the same. Like we've actually done a tour of Huntington Beach before.
A lot of tract homes.
Yeah, we've done a tour of Huntington Beach before, and we didn't actually show that much because we're like, we kind of showed you one neighborhood, and it kind of all looks like this. So I don't know how much you really need to see.
Yeah, and also what we'll say about Huntington Beach is that there's not a ton of gated communities here. Mm-hmm. There are some, so if that's something you're interested in, let us know and we can find you those particular properties. Also, having said that too, is that you have also a lot of homes that are with no HOA dues. So there are certainly the newer developments and that kind of stuff certainly do have HOA dues, but a lot of it does not. And so that's a lot what people do like is they don't have that. One, they don't have the cost of the HOA, but on top of that, they don't have that additional level of oversight because people in Huntington Beach, they love their homes. They want their. I would say that they just really care about just having that autonomy. I would say.
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot of people who feel that way. It's kind of interesting to me because I'm used to HOAs, so it doesn't really bother me. But some people and it's a lot of people. They really hate HOAs. Like they will do anything not to live in an HOA.
And I've seen it both sides.
Yeah,
I don't mean to cut you off, but I've seen both sides of that coin where I love the HOA for the keeping things pretty consistent and uniform. But then also I've been on the other side where my family had a house that was in an HOA, again, a detached home, and they had their color palette, and we did not use that color palette, and they fined us over it, and it was very irritating. So ultimately, I think we had to repaint the thing, which is really, really irritating. This wasn't here, this was in Hawaii, but I'm just saying that it was one of those annoying things that you're going, wait, this is my house. I'm not attached to anything else. So why are you telling me what I can or cannot do? And so I can understand both sides of it. So it's just really one of those things where do you fall on the spectrum, and let us know. And that way we can certainly like direct you to the right property. And finally, I think no video is complete without at least identifying the nearest Costco. So Bella Terra, this is a mall that's right on Beach Boulevard and the 405 freeway. And within this complex, so you'll have like Whole Foods here. I think there's a Kohl's. There's like a bunch of different shops, like, you know, Dine to have a Cheesecake Factory and that kind of stuff here. And then on top of that, in this little vicinity, you have also the Costco at Huntington Beach, which actually that is a really good Costco there.
And Sean would know. He knows every Costco that you could possibly go to in Orange County.
Yeah, when I actually like drive by Costco and I haven't gone, I'm like, I think I need to go in it just to make sure that I know what this one kind of has to offer.
Yeah, the other day he's like, I need to go to the Fountain Valley Costco, and I thought he was talking about, because there's two, aren't there?
No, that was the Garden Grove Costco.
Oh, that was the Garden Grove Costco. So he tricked me and said we're going to Fountain Valley, and then we went to Garden Grove instead.
I would never trick you.
And it was like 25 minutes away, and then I'm like, what are we doing? Because he wanted to go to that specific one. I don't even know why. He said there was certain selection that was better.
I don't know what you're talking about. I plead the fifth. And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.